got even harder in the summer of 2015, a year before the Rio Games. An investigator hired by USA Gymnastics paid Raceman a visit. The coach had raised concerns about Dr. Nasser's treatment of athletes. Raceman says she was caught off guard when the investigator asked her about it.
And I said, well, his touching makes me uncomfortable, but he's so nice to me. And I don't think he does it on purpose because, I think he cares about me.
So it was only after the investigator left that you began to put the pieces together.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know, too. I'm still trying to put the pieces together today. It impacts you for the rest of your life.
After the Nasser scandal broke, USA Gymnastics president Steve Penny resigned. His replacement was Kerry Perry, who stepped down this past week. In a statement last year, USA Gymnastics told us it had adopted a safe sport policy that requires mandatory reporting of suspicions of sexual abuse and sets standards to prohibit grooming behavior and prevent inappropriate interaction between athletes and adults. USA Gymnastics is very sorry that any athlete has been harmed, the statement said. We want to work with Ali and all interested athletes to keep athletes safe. But last year, the Racemans told us the changes hadn't gone far enough.
With the exception of Steve Penny, the same people in place. So I don't really have tremendous hopes that a lot of those policies will be enforced.
A lot of people are asking, where were the parents?
We were there, but she's not knowing that it's wrong. Never in a million years did I ever even think to say, hey, when you see the team doctor, is there someone with you?
If you could hit the rewind button, is there anything you would have done differently?
I think the most important thing, if anyone takes anything away from this interview, is sit down with your kids and explain to them that predators aren't just strangers. They can be highly educated. They can be very well respected in the community. It could be a family member. It could be a family friend. So, that's really, if I could go back in time, I would do that.
Ali Raceman's experiences with Dr. Nasser haunted her, but did not stop her from pulling off one of the most memorable performances of the Olympic Games in Rio. In the all-around, she won silver.
I finally competed in the all-around final without any major error. I finally competed for myself, and I finally believed in myself. That was just such a good feeling. It was really empowering for me.
After she returned from Rio, she says she spoke with FBI agents who had opened an investigation of Larry Nasser. Last summer, Raceman and her teammates from Rio were inducted into the USA Gymnastics Hall of Fame.
We must remember that protecting athletes comes first, and doing right by athletes is always the priority. I love our sport so much, and I want the best for it.
Some of the most powerful people in the sport were there, but Raceman says it seemed that many of them were giving her the cold shoulder.
There was a table of a lot of people that are very high up in USA Gymnastics that were in the room, and they didn't come over. My teammates and I were all sitting at a table, and they did not come over to say hi to us or to congratulate us.
After your speech or
before at all, the whole time. All we've done is worked really hard. We love the sport, and we were treated like, we don't want anything to do with you girls.
Are you concerned that being so outspoken could jeopardize your odds of making the next Olympics?
I think that's a very valid point, but I think that this speaking out and creating positive change so that athletes are safe is more important than any Olympic medal you could ever win.
Since we first broadcast this story, Ali Raceman has emerged as a leader in the fight against sexual abuse and has not been training for the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. At a court hearing in Michigan in January, Raceman was one of more than 150 women who confronted Larry Nasser.
Imagine feeling like you have no power and no voice. Well, you know what, Larry? I have both power and voice, and I am only beginning to just use them.
Nasser was sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison. Since then, the entire board of USA Gymnastics was forced to resign. The president of Michigan State University stepped down, and the university agreed to a $500 million settlement with Nasser's accusers. In Washington, a new law was passed requiring amateur sports organizations to report allegations of sexual abuse to law enforcement. At the ESPY Awards this summer, Raceman and the other women who spoke out about Larry Nassar received a standing ovation as they were recognized for their courage.
To all the survivors out there, don't let anyone rewrite your story. Your truth does matter, you matter, and you are not alone.
How to tell kids that grown-ups they trust could one day betray them. Go to 60minutesovertime.com. Sponsored by Lyrica.
To most people, I look like most people. But on the inside, I feel chronic, widespread pain. Fibromyalgia may be invisible to others, but my pain is real.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be caused by overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
I'm glad my doctor prescribed Lyrica.
For some, Lyrica delivers effective relief from fibromyalgia pain and improves function. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts, or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can do more.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica. If you're eligible, you could pay as little as $25 a month.
Our next guest is celebrating his 30th anniversary in children's television. He raised your son, your daughter, your stepdaughter from his couch in Columbus, Ohio, while you were in the next room taking bath salts and screaming at the photos in your high school yearbook. Please help me welcome Mr. Jeff Pickles!
Hi. There's a spark of greatness inside each and every one of us. In you, in me, there's a lovely light that can never go out.
You are not a real person. You're a trusted brand. No one sees a man.
I am a man. I am. Just a different kind.
Kidding. New series. Only on Showtime. Start your free trial now.
My gums are irritated. I don't have to worry about that, do I?
Actually, you do. Harmful bacteria lurk just below the gum line.
Crest Gum Detoxify works below the gum line to neutralize harmful plaque bacteria and help reverse early gum damage. And now there's new Crest Gum and Enamel Repair. It gives you clinically proven healthier gums and helps repair and strengthen weakened enamel. Gum Detoxify and Gum and Enamel Repair. From Crest.
Gums are good. So is my checkup.
Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Combine the right things and something amazing happens. That's our inspiration for Fancy Feast Medleys. Wild salmon primavera tastes amazing. Also in pate, Fancy Feast Medleys.
You might take something for your heart or joints, but do you take something for your brain? With an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen has been shown in clinical trials to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
That's me, Thomas Snack, private investigator.
We're blown, they know we're here!
The heady no.
Get to the exfil point! Close your eyes! Your chariot's on its way!
Meet my three best friends. CC, former Marine Corps chopper pilot. He runs the best helicopter tour business in Hawaii.
Don't lose them! You don't suck!
Rick was in the Marines too. He runs Oahu's coolest beach club. If you want something on the island, Rick is the man to see.
I know a guy. You always know a guy.
It's my bag, man. And lastly, Juliet Higgins, property manager, former British intelligence, MI6, and kind of a pain in mind.
Hi, guys.
The security.
Why am I here?
I'm constantly asking myself that very question.
Rick T.C. Higgins. Friends like those come around once in a lifetime.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Premieres Sunday, September 24th.
Finally, some good news. CBS is making America Murphy again. It's gonna be you. Murphy Brown returns, CBS September 27th.
You don't expect to hear that some of the most cutting-edge biotechnology is now part of the elite game of polo, the ancient sport of kings. But on a trip to Argentina last December, we went to a big polo match and discovered that several of the champion horses on the field were clones. It's a big day in Buenos Aires. The final match of this year's World Cup/Super Bowl of polo, called the Argentine Open, with the usual pageantry, the tango included. In polo, the horses, called ponies, are just as important as their riders. The two teams are La Delfina in white and El Erstina in black. Each team has 4 players who ride as many as a dozen horses during matches. All of the players today have reached the highest ranking in the sport, the 10-goal handicap. The player generating the most interest is the man in the blue and white helmet, Adolfo Cambiaso. He's led his team to victory for the last 5 years. At 42, he's the Tom Brady of polo.
I love the sport that I do. I love polo. I love horses. So I try to be the best.
You are #1 in the world in your sport. That's stunning, isn't it?
It's strange. When they say it to you, you don't feel like it, but...
How long have you had this title? How many years?
22 years.
You've been the best in the world for 22 years?
That's what they say.
At age 25, Adolfo decided to create his own polo team called La Delfina and a breeding business from scratch. Today, he has nearly 1,000 horses that are fed a special diet of plants and grasses grown on his massive farms.
If they have a little pain somewhere, I need a swimming pool for them, just to swim.
A swimming pool for the horses, where they do laps and stretch out their sore muscles. And they like it?
They love it.
They do. They
love it. They jump on. It's amazing.
His most prized horse for a long time was named Aiken Cora. But at the Argentine Open 12 years ago, Aiken Cora's leg was broken, and Adolfo was devastated.
More than anything, I say save this horse.
He was your favorite?
Yes.
But the horse could not be saved. Before they put him down, Adolfo made a fateful decision. He asked his veterinarian to save some of the horse's skin cells. He thought that one day he could bring Aiken Cora back to life through cloning.
I was really sad, and I said cloning should work.
How did that come into your head?
I don't know. I decided to keep some cells from him, just in case years later cloning is normal.
He remembered Dolly the sheep, the first cloned mammal. Since then, scientists have cloned cows, pigs, goats, and in 2003, the first horse. Biologist Adrian Muto, one of the first scientists to clone in Argentina, showed us the process. He starts with an egg extracted minutes earlier from a mare.
You can see here, this is an egg, and with that needle, we eliminate all DNA of each egg.
Next, he replaces it with the DNA of the horse they want to clone.
The next step is introduce again into the egg the needle.
Mm-hmm.
This is the DNA into the egg.
You did it?
Yeah. This is our cell, and this is the egg.
And that's it.
But that's it.
The new embryos are then incubated for 1 week. No sperm has been involved.
We don't need sperm.
There's no male.
Yes, no male here. Only me.
But that's incredible. So it's not a male-female reproduction at all.
Yes.
You're just taking a cell from whichever. It could be a male or it could be a male horse. Yes. And you're putting it in no sex at all.
No. Good horses.
The incubated egg is implanted in a surrogate mare who gives birth to the clone, like this one that's 3 weeks old. Cloning represented a business opportunity to this man, Texas oil heir and polo enthusiast Alan Meeker.